So I'm pretty excited because I got a spoiler from today that's saying we're going to be watching a certain someone's very first match in the WWF.
That is correct. I had actually forgot about it because we watched WrestleMania 5 last week for part 1 of Geekomania 2, which be on the lookout for part 2, which will be out on Tuesday. Glenn's going to join me. We're going to record that thing tomorrow, so that'll be fun. We're looking forward to that. And so I forgot that it announced that Razor Ramon was going to debut on the next episode of Superstars, which, I mean, I didn't plan this, obviously, because I didn't know he would pass away, and I would rather not be doing this with him having just passed away, but it's just kind of how it worked out. We got to that episode, and unfortunately, at the same time, he passed away. So, rest in peace to Mr. Scott Hall. Probably, I mean, him and Ted DiBiase might be the two greatest WWF superstars to never win the WWF Championship.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't argue that. It's got to be between them and Piper. And did Piper win WCW at one time?
No,
I don't think he did.
No, I don't think he did.
And I know Hennig didn't. So, I mean, that's like a Mount Rushmore right there of guys that are just like phenomenal professional wrestlers that should have at least held the belt one time.
They're definitely
Especially Scott. I think Scott was... He was... Even very young... Scott Hall, like the big bushy mustache, cowboy-looking Scott Hall.
Big Scott Hall.
Big Scott Hall. I mean, he reminded me of Magnum TA with charisma. And people had such high hopes and talks about Magnum TA before his accident, and Scott Hall seemed like he was every bit as good, if not better, than Magnum TA. Had the same exact look almost to me. And just loaded with charisma and just like that special timing of everything that he did.
Yeah, I mean, one of the greatest wrestling minds. I mean, he obviously had his demons, which we all have demons, so we're not going to vilify him for that. But imagine what he could have done had he not had those issues and those demons. I mean, he would be a hell of a guy to train you. It would have been a hell of a guy to train guys to cut a promo,
Oh, yeah.
Wrestle in the ring. I mean, he's one of the greatest of all time. It's got to be. I mean, he changed wrestling. The NWO changed wrestling, and he started that thing. So,
yeah. I mean, honestly, I think even back in WWF, when he on this debut with Razor, I mean, the vignettes themselves were, I think, changing because he was just that guy that was the bad guy. I don't want to just use a catchphrase, but like he was a bad guy. He was a heel that was so cool. Everyone wanted to like him. They wanted to like act like him. And before, like heels were like, you didn't want to like them. But Razor just had that ability. Like I just remember my dad always copying him and like, flicking a toothpick and saying "Ayo" and stuff. Just copying Razor in a very, Caucasian sound, but he didn't have quite the flair that Big Scott Hall could pull it off with. But it still was just like he was the beginning of that cool guy heel to me.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think I was like 9 or 10 when he first came in, so something like that. Because I was right. I remember it was like when was his first like Survivor Series? I think he came around Survivor Series '92. Was one of the first times I remember seeing him. He tag teamed with Ric Flair. So I don't remember a lot of him first coming in. I remember the ladder match. They had a ladder match at SummerSlam 1995 too. Which, I mean, if you're going to go back and watch SummerSlam 1995, I don't recommend it. You would only want to watch that match. Don't watch anything else. Because I mean, I think the second one's it's not as good as the first one, but it's pretty on par because it's really good too. With the added fact that I think in the second one, Vince told him that night before they went out there, like, hey, you're really not supposed to use the ladder as a weapon because their sponsors at that time weren't cool with that. So they had to figure out then to go out there and have a ladder match, but not use the ladder as a weapon, which makes no goddamn sense.
That doesn't make any sense. Let's have a baseball bat match, but not use the baseball bat in the match.
It's almost like having a thing where it says there are no rules, but then listing a bunch of rules.
No holds barred, but the pile driver is barred.
But you can't. But the wrist lock is barred. I was taking a shot at that new EC3.
Oh yeah, promotion. I forgot all about that.
So control The first rule is there are no rules, but let's list a bunch of rules.
I mean, they get to control their narrative, so they get to make it themselves. There's
I
no
guess
rules
that's
outside of the rules that they provide.
I guess that's true. Well, Mayor of Canton at Mayor of Canton, I promised a big announcement today. And are you ready for that big announcement?
I'm ready. I'm
Can I get a drum roll?
um
There we go. I was hoping you'd maybe on your chest, but here we go.
that sounds
Next
like
Saturday night, and we're not going to be on Friday night. Next week will be next Saturday night. We'll be live. It'll be 10 o'clock Eastern time as always. Thomas Bryce from Sportswire Radio himself is going to join us in watching some superstars next Saturday night. So make sure you join in. Thomas Bryce will be here with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it should be exciting.
yeah. I can't wait. I think it's going to be a good time.
It's always a good time, pal. It's always a good time. I don't think I got. Well, we'll save the rest of the plugs that I got for the end of the show. But it's time, Mayor. It is time because I don't have any current wrestling talk to throw at you today because I didn't watch a single thing from wrestling this week because I've been busy watching basketball.
Oh, what a good picture right there. I'm liking how it's already starting.
It's already a good start because we got Handsome Earthquake in the
Handsome Earthquake and Big Typhoon.
and Not So Handsome Typhoon.
Yeah.
It's loading. All right, I'm going to pause it.
Loading.
All right, it's August 8th, 1992. Find it on the Peacock. Get your cock up and let's do it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Push the button. I forgot this is actually touch screen, so
it's immediately starting with an interview?
I don't know. We don't have Vince and
fuck.
God. It went from way up here to like below the screen. I can't even point to how far down it started.
You've heard the song 0 to 100? Well, that went from 100 to 0 real quick. Real fucking quick.
Mean Gene looks very unenthralled about what he's going to have to do here. He's going to have to try to carry a conversation with this goof.
It's a tough job.
What is he doing? Was he using a shake weight in front of his face there?
An invisible shake weight? I think that's what he was doing.
Well, I mean, he talks to his invisible hands, to the words on his hands.
That's true. This is it was weird because they didn't even do the intro. It was just like straight to this interview with the Warrior. These weird pants on.
Yeah, it almost seemed like it cut out the very beginning of wherever usually Vince and Henning are, and they're telling you what city they're in.
Yeah, we don't even know. Are we still in wherever the fuck we were last week, or are we in a different place now?
They're in parts unknown.
I gotta say, I do like his face paint here. It looks pretty cool.
It looks like an Easter basket exploded on his dumb head.
I was just trying to say one nice thing about him.
Okay, I'll give him that. I do like the face paint.
Okay, all right. I thought the one good thing about him is that he's dead. I mean, I didn't say that. I take it back.
I hope Scott Hall grabs a hold of him and puts him in the razor's edge.
He got so scared of Scott Hall, he ran away from the World Wrestling Federation before he had to face Scott Hall at Survivor Series 1992. So,
oh wow, yeah, all coming full circle with his stupid straw hair.
He does have stupid hair. It's like he woke up and then he went like this, like ran his fingers all through it and it got all crazy, and then he sprayed it with like an entire bottle of hairspray. And went, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Now this man, he's styling and profiling, not like this goof up there and just talking to his hands. What do you think Warrior's saying right now?
You don't understand, Gene. The power of the Warriors use their finger paints to paint these pants. They're not really pants. They're really painted onto my body.
Oh, God. It's like the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition where they paint the bikinis, but it's just Warrior in body paint.
But in the nightmare version of that?
Ugh.
You got a guy who's one of the best promos in wrestling history versus a guy nobody can understand what the fuck he was talking about.
I actually thought it was Jack Hardy, and I was really confused for a second.
Rick Hardy. You never heard of Rick Hardy?
He probably has. I probably like him better than James Hellwig. I had to take a second to remember what his name was.
Old
I didn't want to call
Jimmy.
him Warrior.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's his. That would
That's
be
his
his
ori-
legal name.
That's his legal name now. You
His
think his
legal name would be
children are
Warrior.
Warrior also? Then
What?
What are his children's name Warrior?
Warrior Junior, and a Warrior the Third. Even though that's not how that works. What could they possibly be talking about? Like I
I don't
don't.
know, but Warrior beat his chest to show intimidation.
Which Flair paid no attention to, so it didn't work. Come on, I'll get this over with. I'm ready to see some mullets in action.
Yeah, we don't want to see Ultimate Warrior just sitting here
He looks
staring
so
like an
confused.
idiot.
He's like, he's using real words. I don't understand these real words that you're throwing at me.
I'm the Warrior from Planet Warrior, and the power of the Warrior. That's all that he said.
He said, listen here, Ric Flair. Let me tell you about dexterosity. D stands for I'm a dumbass. X stands for extreme.
Is it dexterosity?
It's D. I don't know. I don't even know how you spell it.
I think he just made it up.
The look on his face as he's talking, like he's like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's like Flair is speaking a different language than the Warrior speaks. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's not Warrior knees. You're not looking at your hands.
He's like, where the fuck is Tatanka? When I need him. Where is that Tatanka? He's got to be around here somewhere. He's looking for him. Look, he's looking everywhere.
What do you think Flair is talking to him about this entire time? Like, there's not that much you can riff on about the Warrior.
Right. I don't know either.
He runs and shakes ropes and hits you with a shoulder block and press slams you and then splashes you.
That's it.
It was Goldberg pre-Goldberg, but with worse hair and face paint, because everyone that was intimidating in the 80s and early 90s had face paint.
Well, of course. I mean, you had to have face paint or nobody's going to take you serious.
No.
Oh my God, can we get this over with? I feel like we've been doing this for it's been at least 5 minutes that they've been talking to each other here.
Wow. I mean, sometimes those opening promos on Monday Night Raw seem like they run a really long time.
Oh man. But at the same time, like everybody loved the Attitude Era, and like if you turn that shit on, and I guarantee you the first thing that's going to happen for those 20 minutes of that show is Vince McMahon's going to be talking, and then Stone Cold's going to come out and interrupt him, and then it's been the same shit for 20 years.
Yeah, it was either Vince, and then after early 2000, you had Stephanie would come out.
Yeah, because her and Triple H were running the show, so they would. Yeah. What else could the Warrior possibly have to say? We've already talked about the planets and the suns and the stars in the sky and dexterosity and his whatever fucking mega whole hairspray he fucking uses. Get the fuck out of here. Tired of this guy.
I give him credit. His eyes don't look like they're as drugged up as usual.
Yeah. He doesn't look like he did an 8-ball before he came out here.
Yeah. He's a little bit more coherent. Have you ever seen the video where I think it is a Survivor Series where he can't even stand up straight and one of the Road Warriors is holding him up?
Yeah.
Because he's like so drugged out of his mind, he has no idea what he's even doing.
I think he also might have like, you know how like sometimes you can like flex too much and you can like flex yourself out. I mean, obviously I can't do it and you probably can't do it, but I mean, ask Quinn. Quinn might have flexed himself out before. I think he might have flexed himself out, and that's what happened, and they had to hold him up because he had flexed himself out. Like, that seems like the Warrior.
I never knew that was a thing. I haven't had that happen to me before, so.
Look it up. You can find some videos on YouTube, and you'll see it. Dudes will be, like, flexing in the mirror, and then they'll just drop. They'll flex themselves out.
The power of the Warrior compels you.
I mean,
God, look at all these people. How are they cheering that?
I don't know.
Here we go. There's how we normally start with Vince and Perfect.
Now things are getting normal. What city are we in? I need to know.
Is it Onondaga again?
No, Onondaga was a long time ago. I want to say we were like White Plains, New York.
Yes. We were wherever Hacksaw Jim Duggan was from.
Oh, yeah. Glen Falls.
Glen Falls. Yes, Glen Falls. That's it.
Amazing recoil by us there. Imagine us knowing shit. Remembering shit, I mean.
Yeah, that's the only reason I remembered it, because it was where Hacksaw was from.
How are we going to get to see? He's holding up money signs. Does that mean we're going to get to see the $1 Million Man?
I think so. Did he do the Johnny Manziel?
He did do the Johnny Manziel. Yep. Another former Browns quarterback.
Oh boy, yep. Had 3 of those jerseys.
I saw someone describe Baker Mayfield as Johnny Manziel with a headband.
Kind of fair. I think he was a little bit better than Manziel, but
Well, he played a hell of a lot more than
Yeah.
Manziel, so
the debut of Razor Ramon. Can we get to that and not
yeah,
this
get
doofus?
the fuck out of here.
How's he still out there?
I don't know.
It's at least
Nobody
been
wants
10
you
minutes
here.
of just Warrior flexing.
Finally, we're gonna get some ring action here. Who do we got? Oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Because that is Carmella's father right there. So Razor Ramon's first match is against Carmella's father here.
Oh
We're-
man, look at him.
No, that's amazing.
That's the epitome of cool right there.
Yeah,
Like you just
Yeah.
see him and you're like, it's a cool mother effer.
right. How am I supposed to boo that?
Yeah, you can't. You don't want to. I mean, you want to, but you can't.
You want to, but you can't.
Yeah, it's like hating the Joker. I mean, you probably should, but you don't want to.
Right. Or like Darth, like, I don't know if you're a Star Wars person, but Darth Vader. You're supposed to hate Darth Vader, but Darth Vader's cool.
Yeah.
You don't want to hate him. He's cool.
No.
Oh,
What was your favorite Razorism, I guess?
I can't really think of any off the top of my head.
Like right here where he's like, if anything happens to these gold chains,
Something's going to happen
something's
to you.
going to happen to you.
That's a good
I
one.
mean, the toothpick flick.
I can't believe it's. Oh God! He just immediately picks up Carmella's father, manhandles him with a double choke slam. Jesus Christ!
Man.
I used to hear like I've heard Triple H tell this story. Like when he first met Scott Hall, he's like the guy's almost like a spider. Like when you see him backstage, you know, in like normal clothes, he doesn't look all that big. But just like then an hour or so before his match, he like spreads out or something and just becomes this big monster. I was like, it's like I remember seeing him in the hallway and then seeing him
Ooh.
later on his way to the ring and be like, is that the same guy?
He is jacked to the gills. I mean, that's a big man. I mean, he had the name Big Scott Hall. And it almost doesn't even look like the same guy when you look at him.
No,
Like-
because of the hair. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he even had the big mustache also made him look completely different. I thought he always looked older when he was younger.
He definitely did. When he had the big Scott Hall gimmick, yeah, he definitely he looked 20 years older than he does now. I mean, and Carmella's father's not a small man either. Oh
No, God.
Jesus, that was a vicious choke slam.
Yeah.
That might have been one of the best choke slams I've ever seen. I've never seen it quite delivered like that.
Yeah, it wasn't like the full lift. It was just snap up, grab the ass end and swing them down and
Yeah.
slam them. Oh, the paint brushing. Where he paintbrushed the head.
Add some
That's-
insult to injury here, as the bad guy would do.
Yeah. This guy's just stealing people's lunch monies.
Oh, I used to love this one. This is one of my favorite moves that he used to do. When he first came in, I'd never seen nobody doing shit like this.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Oh, beautiful backdrop from the top rope. I love it.
And see, this is how you introduce someone. I don't need a 25-minute match on someone's introduction match where they're having a struggle. Like, he's beating the hell out of poor Carmella's dad here.
Yeah. Old CVD, I think is what it was. It was like something Van something.
Van Dale.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Van Dale.
And imagine
There's-
just, that's such a cool move. Like, I don't ever remember seeing anyone do that before. I'm sure probably someone in Japan did, but
Yeah. No, I mean, if I had to name top 5 finishers, I think the Razor's Edge is going on into my top 5 finishers for sure.
oh yeah.
For sure. So there you have it. Mr. Scott Hall's
Throw the sweat on him.
WWF debut.
He flicked his sweat on him.
Well, now
and he's
he
garbage tossing him too. Good Lord. He really dumped him.
Carmelo's dad was a hell of a seller, I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
he's a good worker.
Yeah. Definitely. Vince
Now
is impressed
that is
even
an
though he's not really there.
introduction.
That's how you do a squash match to bring a guy in, pal. That's textbook right there.
It's like when I had told you before. I forget who we were talking about had an introductory match, and it was so long. And I think it was someone on AEW. I don't remember who it was, but
Probably wasn't an AEW. I remember we talked about Nikita Lyons, and you thought that match went a little long, but I don't think
maybe that was it.
Maybe it was, but that match wasn't all.
It wasn't.
Maybe
that
I was
long.
just maybe I was just distracted, but I didn't think it was that long.
We got the hearts here.
This is the second Superstars episode in a row where we've got an interview with Stu Hart. Looks just as confused as the Ultimate Warrior. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
He is zoned all the way out.
Let me tell you, you gotta think for that big, goddamn bastard, that big rhino, big bastard. You got anything for him? If you had to guess, who do you think Stu Hart called the big bastard?
The big bastard?
Yeah, he would always refer to him as a big bastard. Oh, God. Look at these guys.
Jim Neidhart?
Jim Neidhart, you got it, pal.
Oh,
One of these guys is the Dublin Destroyer, and I don't know who the other guy is, but he looks a lot like Meatloaf.
He looks like he ate a lot of meatloaf.
No, I will do anything for Handsome Earthquake, and I'll even do that.
I mean, what a time. I mean, we had Scott Hall's debut. Rest in peace, Scott Hall. And Razor Ramon, we love you. Great guy. And we also got the Dublin Destroyer after St. Patrick's Day.
You know what? I didn't even think of that. You're right. The Dublin Destroyers are here the day after St. Patrick's Day. It's only right. We got hoop earrings, 90s hoop earrings. Love it.
16 candles.
Molly Ringwald is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
I never paid attention to this. I should have caught this a long time ago. But I love that Earthquake's letters are staggered like an earthquake hit his letters.
Makes perfect sense, pal.
How have I never noticed that? I've looked at Earthquake with googling eyes for 35 years now, however long it would have been.
Oh, so Handsome Earthquake's going to get started with Meatloaf here.
Do you think Handsome Earthquake owned a shirt that said, "My eyes are up here"?
If he didn't, he should have. He definitely should have.
Who is this guy here? He really looks like someone, not Handsome Earthquake, obviously. This guy, good Lord. Earthquake was such a man's man. Yeah. Boom.
Almost as much of a man as William Regal. Do you remember that when they brought him in? He had that. He's a man, such a man. He would come out in like a fucking like
the red and black lumberjack.
Yeah, and like a fucking hard hat. Amazing. I love that.
Oh gosh, did you see that pump bicycle kick from Earthquake?
I wasn't sure what he was going for, and that's not what I was expecting when he left his feet. I'll tell you that much.
No,
like
he's a martial artist expert as well.
Right. I actually believe that like Handsome Earthquake could have been a dominant center if he wanted to be. If he wanted to be a center in basketball, he easily could have.
Well, I think that he played for LSU.
I think he wrestled at LSU.
Okay, I thought that he was a defensive tackle or something at LSU, but maybe not.
I could be wrong, but I thought he wrestled at LSU. I know he was a sumo wrestler in Japan for a while.
Get over who that guy looks like.
Yeah, I don't know.
It looks like maybe I don't even want to say a shaved Mick Foley.
He does kind of look
like if Mick Foley was shaved back then.
He does kind of look like Mick Foley. I think he's got a little bit more gut than Mick Foley had to. Just a little.
Oh man, the double quakes. All the natural disasters hitting.
Dangerous Danny Davis, the referee here. Oh, Meatloaf is fucked. The Dublin Destroyer won't take this anymore.
No, he's ready to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Irish car bombs and green beers.
He's about to celebrate it by getting splat. That's what's about to happen to him. They discard him like yesterday's garbage, the Dublin Destroyer. Handsome Earthquake picks
Typhoon
up
going up
Meatloaf like
top?
nothing. What'd you say?
Oh, I thought Typhoon was crawling to the top rope. I was
Oh,
really
well,
frightened for that man.
well, you should be frightened for him now
Oh
because
yeah.
he's about to get this ass. Oh, he tagged in
Oh
handsome, not
no.
so handsome Avalanche. The Devil and Destroyers are terrible tag team partners, just standing outside the ring watching all this happen.
I mean, would you want to get in there and get splattered around by those men?
It depends on how good of friends me and fucking Meatloaf are.
Yeah, that's true. It's
I mean, if it
meat-
was you in there, I'd get in there and save you. But if it
It-
was fucking Meatloaf, I might not.
yeah, it's Meatloaf Foley.
Oh, kids are excited. That guy had some thick ass eyebrows, and I have thick eyebrows. So for me saying you got thick eyebrows, that's something.
It's natural disasters is baby faces your belt's upside down, Typhoon.
Yeah, well, what can you do? He's distracted by Handsome Earthquake's handsomeness. He's not.
That's true.
Right? Oh, don't forget, Monday night, August 31st, SummerSlam, only available on pay-per-view. Glenn said it was actually took place on a Sunday. For some reason, they showed it on Monday night here.
Strange, very strange.
Got that confirmed from Mr. Glenn Abbott himself, who was at the event.
I love how he raises his eyebrows all the time.
Uh-oh. Kamala's concerned. Do you know why he's concerned?
Are they out of live roosters for him to eat?
That's one of his concerns. But his other concern is he's got a casket match coming up with The Undertaker at SummerSlam 1992. And he's not too happy about this. Oh, reach out and touch him, Austin. Reach out and put your hand on the screen. Be one with Kamala. He jumped.
He jumped when I touched his hand. He got frightened.
Either that or fucking Whippleman must have said fucking.
What now? Was there a special casket
Coffin.
vignettes where Paul Bearer and Undertaker were making a oversized casket for him?
So I don't know if there is for him, but I do distinctly remember in 1993 when he faced Yokozuna of them doing vignettes of him building an oversized casket for Yokozuna, and Davey Boy Smith, of course, wasn't even fucking there.
Wasn't even there.
He wasn't even fucking there.
His wristband, bulldog.
Bull and dog. He is a bull dog. That's for sure. He's got
I
a
just
he's
found
gonna
it
face
funny
Bret Hart.
that Vince always told AJ, "Be a bulldog, be a bulldog, or a pit bull, whatever." I think he said kept telling him to be a bulldog, and AJ was like, "I don't even know what that means, but I'm from Georgia, so I like the Bulldogs."
Well, I mean, it all ties together. They are the Georgia Bulldogs, after all. Monday night, August 31st. Available on pay-per-view. Call your local cable company for availability.
Are they going to give us a number? I want to call it right now and see where it goes. Oh, they didn't.
No number for us. I like how they showed like the ad for it and just to only have it come back to have Sean Mooney remind us about SummerSlam just one more time.
They just wanted to show his eyebrows. It's going to boom the sales of the SummerSlam.
Speaking of Kamala, he's on his way out to the ring here. He's got the beekeeper with him.
Kamala.
Dr. Harvey Whippleman's already in the ring. I don't believe that man has ever been to medical school.
No, wait, he is a doctor in this?
They would introduce him as Dr. Harvey Whippleman, yeah.
Who's less likely a doctor, him or Dr. Dre?
I mean, believe it or not, pal, I got to go with Dr. Dre at this point. I think it is Dr. Dre. I don't know who this guy that Kamala's facing. He has a beautiful mullet and he has like tiger tights on, so we're gonna call him Tony the Tiger.
Tony the Tiger mullet it's a classic look.
Let me ask you this, Mayor. Do you know what former wrestling personality voiced Tony the Tiger in the Frosted Flakes commercials?
I thought it was Casey Kasem. A wrestler did that?
Yep. No, not a wrestler. It was a wrestling personality.
I don't know. I don't want to sit here all
Stagger
day.
Lee Marshall was the voice of.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Go back and listen to it. You'll be like, oh, yeah, that is Lee Marshall. Yep.
I don't know why I was thinking it was Casey Kasem. He must have
Casey
done
Kasem did somebody.
He must have done voices for a cartoon or something.
Scooby-Doo, maybe?
Maybe he was.
I don't know. I
That's
know he did
probably
for
right.
something. Oh, the Graveyard versus the Jungle in the new WWF magazine. I'd
Ooh.
like to read that shit.
That is a great head of hair. And the Zuba Bengals pants.
Yes, who just went to the Super Bowl. So,
Yeah,
who is now the most popular team in the state of Ohio.
One Ohio team knows what they're doing.
That's when you get a Nebraska guy as your head coach, Mayor. That's just what you got to do. You got to get a former Nebraska quarterback as your head coach. Obviously.
Yeah, and then draft a tall ex-Ohio State national champion quarterback.
Oh, he drops drops Tony the Tiger here on the top rope, and now just chopping him mercilessly while he's on the ground, pulling his hair. I'm not cool with the mullet.
No.
Violence here.
Is he already pinning him?
No, he's choking him, nail style.
Okay. Oh, nails. There we go. Okay.
I wonder if we're going to get to see nails tonight. He chopped him in the fucking throat. I hope not.
I don't know if we can deal with a double choke match. He's already choking him again.
As you know, Mayor, sometimes during a wrestling match, you just got to choke. What the fuck was that?
I don't know. It looked like a Nintendo game kick where like the graphics don't bend, like it's all in one motion. Yeah. Like the leg goes from standing here and then instantly there.
You just hit the X button.
Yeah, there was no animation in between the leg bending.
I gotta say, this match is going a lot longer than I thought it would. I think he's humping him. That's what I'm going with. There is something going on. I mean, he is wearing a loincloth. For crying out loud. Oh, the double throat punch as he pats his belly.
Now he's gonna hit. They had a wrestling school in Uganda that taught this Ugandan giant how to wrestle.
Well, and clearly in Uganda that you can pin people while they're on their stomach. So
different rules in different places.
I mean, yeah, exactly. There you go. Now he's got it. Yeah, I don't know.
That pin is great. Oh God, his feet are crusty.
His feet are pretty crusty. Yeah.
Well, he's been fucking barefoot.
I was gonna say, when we don't have any shoes, they get fucked up.
This kick was good. Bam.
That was a good kick. You got some good height and distance on the splash there. Oh, he's headed to the top rope now. Uh-oh.
Wow.
They're trying to stop him. Kimchi's trying to stop him. He says, no,
are you
get
gonna
down.
Stand in front of that man jumping?
Right.
Just let him go.
He said, I'm going to jump, bitch.
There's no saving Tony the Tiger now.
Yeah, I don't... Well, that's really nice of them to make sure that Tony the Tiger doesn't get hurt. He's got to he's doing an episode of Saved by the Bell later. He's going to be an extra. So
it's funny that Tony the Tiger looks almost a lot like Van Dale. What was his name? Carmella's dad.
Who?
Carmella's dad. They'd wrestle in the first match.
Oh yeah,
they looked really similar.
Maybe it's Carmella's uncle. It was Carmella's family night.
That's true. Could have been related.
Who knew that eventually his daughter would grow up and make a disgusting YouTube show? Anywho, Sean Mooney's here. Talking
Sean
about
Mooney here. Yeah. Sean Mooney here. I raise my eyebrows. Tell you all about the things that are WWF and oh no. Really?
Here we go. You asked for it, you got it. It's nails.
At least I don't have him choking someone. I have him shaking the stick.
I'd rather see him choking someone than talking because usually, what the fuck is wrong with Virgil?
They just had a sale on breadsticks, and man, he is pumped.
He's heard they extended the $1.99 all-you-can-eat soup and breadstick special for 2 more weeks, and fucking is happy.
I grabbed one breadstick and I swung it this way. I grabbed another one and swung it that way, and then I dipped them all in marinara sauce, the meat sauce, and then I ate it up like this. And I tell you, it was a good day in Virgil land.
Hashtag fuck money. That was crazy because his hands were. He looked like he was on the same shit the Ultimate Warrior was on.
The Ultimate Warrior sees the words on his hands, though. So does Tatanka.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has to write them on his hands or else he'll forget. Here it is. I don't know. They're facing the Legion of Doom at SummerSlam. That's who it is. That stupid fucking doll.
Oh, God. Not the doll. That's why
hate
they're
that
not
doll.
champions.
We're gonna see the doll. I have a feeling. I have a bad feeling that we're gonna see the doll here in a second. And I'm not looking forward to seeing him.
Handsome Earthquake doesn't need a stupid doll.
No. You need a doll of Handsome Earthquake is what you need. In fact, I got one.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good day. SummerSlam Monday night. It still seems so weird to have a pay-per-view on Monday night.
Yeah, it is very strange.
Although I feel like I probably watched that. I don't know. I remember watching the VHS, but I don't know if I watched it live.
So I used to get these tapes, the Coliseum home video tapes. I would get like one a month or something, and one was like Best of SummerSlam, and it had the Bret Hart British Bulldog match on there. And I think that was the first time I had seen it. So I want to say I probably didn't see that one. Speaking of the devil, it seems like everybody who's done an interview tonight has also gotten a match. So,
well, I mean that's good booking, not booking, but good setup.
Yeah, I mean they have big matches at SummerSlam. They should be out here wrestling, right? To hype up their matches. I'm
just hoping that they don't keep following in that, and that we don't get a nails match. Ooh, Iron Mike Sharp. I loved Iron Mike Sharp.
An avid bowler is I don't know if you remember, but a couple episodes ago he took on Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh wow! Now he's trying out his skills against the adversary of Bret Hart, now coming SummerSlam.
We're gonna do they're doing a beat the clock challenge. If the British Bulldog can beat Bret Hart's time beating Iron Mark Sharp, then he gets to pick the stipulation for the match at SummerSlam.
Is that what's going on?
No, I made that up.
That's a good.
That would be something they would do nowadays.
I just started the clock. We'll see. We've got.
Do you know the official time of Bret Hart's match against Iron Mark Sharp?
It was 5 minutes and 32 seconds.
I appreciate you making up shit. That's nice.
It could be right. You don't know.
You're right. You're right. For all I know, you time every match, and I just don't see you doing it, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm here for.
Oh, monkey flip. Take it easy. Iron Mike Sharp's got bowling nationals next week.
Who wins in a fight, Iron Mike Sharp or Iron Mike Tyson in 1989?
Iron Mike Tyson would knock Iron Mike Sharp's fucking head 3 miles off of his shoulders, especially in 1980 something. God, he would kill that man.
You better start hurrying up. Quit pulling up your pants there, Bulldog.
Iron Mike Sharp had to take a breather out there. You gotta drink somebody's Coke. Now he's ready to go.
You've got 4 minutes and 32 seconds left to beat this challenge.
Do you want to name the fucking stipulation for the match at SummerSlam or not, Bulldog? Or you just want to be standing around and say, I wasn't even fucking there? Okay, Mayor,
where is he? Wherever is Bulldog? Because he's never there.
No, it was never fucking there.
He's never anywhere. This is actually a figment of everyone's imagination. Bulldog wasn't even here.
He wasn't even fucking here. Oh, picks my Iron Mike Sharp up like he's nothing here.
God, Iron Mike Sharp's a big man.
Yeah, he's not a small guy.
Ooh, Iron Mike Sharp with the kick out it too.
Pulled it too. Okay, Mayor, if you're the booker here. If the Bulldog and Bret Hart had to have a stipulation match at SummerSlam, what stipulation would you put him in?
Best 2 out of 3.
You know what, pal? That's a goddamn good one. Good call. That's a really good one. They would do a great best at 2 out of 3 falls match. That would be great.
I'd like it. I'd be good with that.
I mean, I hadn't thought of that one, but you're right. That's the best idea. Good call.
A beat the clock challenge against Iron Mike Sharp. They actually don't wrestle each other at all. It's just the winner beats Iron Mike Sharp the fastest.
They get the Intercontinental title. But plot twist: what if Iron Mark Sharp beats them both? Does he get to become the Intercontinental Champion?
I would think so.
Okay,
it's only fair.
It's only fair. Oh, here it comes, the big running power slam. 1, 2, 3. How did he do? He beat him. He beat the clock challenge. The British Bulldog gets to pick the stipulation. That's not real, but
I wasn't even fucking there challenge.
The wasn't even fucking there challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we're getting the Berserker next.
Is Berserker wrestling nails?
fuck. Wouldn't that be something? That would be
One
the
has a
ultimate.
nightstick, the other one has a sword.
There'd be a lot of spittle in the ring. I'll tell you that right now.
A true wrestling classic, that one would be. Some
More
real
SummerSlam talk.
mat wrestling extravaganza.
Do we really need a SummerSlam report? We've already had enough SummerSlam talk, haven't we? For fuck's sakes.
But this one's from Wembley, because I'm sure Mean Gene was actually out at Wembley giving the report there.
Yeah, it's just outside the arena. Yeah,
He's the Big Ben standing right behind him.
he's just sitting in a chair in front of Big Ben. That's exactly what he's doing.
Wembley Stadium. What's Wembley Stadium normally used for? I'm sure it's probably for soccer, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's.
There's got to be a famous soccer team that plays there.
Yeah, there's got to be. I'm sure Glenn will let us know when he listens back to this.
The New York Islanders or something.
They did. The Islanders
They travel all the way out there to play hockey.
Yep, absolutely. They probably don't have hockey there, and if they did, it would be called like Lolly Freeze or some shit like that. It would even be called.
You know, one of the weird memories I have from my childhood is after Superstars used to end. No, it was Wrestling Challenge, the TV show. Remember Wrestling Challenge?
Yeah.
When Wrestling Challenge would end, Lord Alfred Hayes would do promos for commercials, and he'd like read live commercials at the end of them. And one of them was like the little popsicles in a bag called Mr. Freeze. And he'd say, "Delicious, Mr. Freeze," and he'd say it exactly like that. And it's always stuck in my head, Mr. Freeze.
Lord Alfred Hayes, underrated.
Bret Hart's cutting another promo outside of this. He's got to be in the UK right there.
Is that Buckingham Palace, perhaps?
Yeah, it's Buckingham Palace there.
Where are the Bobbies? The Bobbies should be here patrolling the area. The WWF Intercontinental Champions here.
Lashley? Oh, not that Bobby.
No, the police, the cops. 5-0, one time.
The one time.
Maybe some Peaky Blinders to be out there.
Look at this match. I want to see this match here.
The dream match. Handsome Earthquake, Not So Handsome Typhoon versus the Beverly Brothers. Tag team titles on the line. Also got a coffin match or a casket match, depending on how you like to say it, between The Undertaker and Kamala.
A casket match, I prefer.
I watched I've watched it a couple times, but it was Randy Orton versus, it's like Randy Orton and The Undertaker. It's like an Untold where it talks about their feud.
Okay.
And they're going to The Undertaker. They're like, so you've had more casket matches than anybody. And he just goes, oh yeah, you think? Which I think it's hilarious.
Wait, they said that to The Undertaker?
They obviously said it tongue in cheek, but he was like, oh yeah, you think? Which I thought was really funny. The best part of that is at the beginning, Orton talks about the time where he hits The Undertaker with the chair, but he doesn't hit him flush on top of the head with it. He hits the tip of the chair, and he hits The Undertaker from here to here with the tip of the chair across his nose. Ooh. And tore the skin off. And so he gets back, and Orton's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And The Undertaker just looks at him and goes, don't worry about it, kid. Your receipt's coming. And Orton's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I would rather have you punch me in the face than we have to worry about when it's going to come.
Yeah, because then you don't know, and then it makes it worse.
Exactly.
Can you just get it over with now? Just slug me.
Right. Just knock me out now. I don't want it to come by surprise.
Pick up any chair. I don't care. Grab a recliner. Throw it at me.
Oh my God, the Repo Man versus Crush. You want to talk about dream matches?
That's Crush?
That is Crush. Wow, that's part about a Crush brother.
It was a strange picture of Crush. I like how they're all standing in front of this same backdrop.
Well, of course, Mayor. Of course. Why wouldn't they be?
I stole a car. It was this big. It was a Matchbox car.
It was a micro machine. I stole a micro machine.
You tried to crush it. It used to be this big, and then you crushed it. It was this big. And now I stole it.
Crush is mad at it because he went to Crush's crush farm and took his thing that he uses to crush cars. He repoed it. That's why that's what this feud's all about. They're actually going to put the whole thing up on a pole, and it's going to be a car crusher on a pole match between.
Did you hear what his favorite drink is?
It's got to be Orange Crush, right?
Orange Crush, yeah, it has to.
What else could it be? Yeah, you drink breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He's got a nice, cool fucking Crush soda. What else would it be?
Yeah, he's got to drink the Orange Crush. Oh, the W.
Oh, it's time for the bodies, pal. Get the baby oil. It's the World Body Federation. Watch
What is
guys
this
on
video?
steroids flex their muscles while I tell you they're not on steroids, but they're clearly on steroids.
Why are there people skating? And who was that?
Rollerbladers have to do with anything?
Beach
What?
volleyball?
Beach volleyball. The Body Stars, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. I wonder how many episodes that made. I kind of want to. We need to watch like a 5-minute clip of that one time.
I mean, we should. You're right, because it would probably be fucking hilarious. Here we go. It's the Berserker facing
God,
Jason Knight. We've seen Jason Knight many times on the show.
Yes, he's definitely traveled a lot. He's had a lot of matches.
Jason Sensation when he was in ECW.
Yeah. He's had his fair. He's almost been on like every episode.
He's been on, yeah. He's probably the jobber most seen. Him
Yeah.
and Mike Sharp are probably the two jobbers the most seen.
Yeah, Mike Sharp's been on there a lot.
Ooh! He put his caveman boots first in the chest.
Husk.
Husk. Now he's just stomping around the ring. They need to make a Berserker figure. I'd totally get that.
Does it come with removable boots with the fur?
Probably. It would probably come with like 4 sets of hands and regular feet and then the boots with the fur.
I was saying he needs the sword, the Fred Flintstone, whatever costume he's got on.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, the warrior. Tatanka's talking to the spirits again. I'll chop and I'll chop and I'll speak to the spirit. Oh, he's going. Eee!
Why? So like, didn't Rick Martel like just steal his feathers? So like, why is Rick Martel facing Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam and not Tatanka?
That's a match of who's more handsome.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, that's why they had to put it in Wembley Stadium that doesn't have a roof on it because there's so much handsome in there that the roof would just fucking explode with those two. You know, it just seems strange because it feels like he has something going with Tatanka. Like, why is he fighting Sherry?
Did Tatanka get his feathers back?
Sherry. I don't think so because he still has them. Because I remember him coming to the ring and he had the feathers.
You're right. I guess there's just a plot hole there.
I don't
Tatanka hasn't been
know.
the same since
Being charged with a crime.
Didn't Tatanka have a really long winning streak and then lose it to someone like, was it Beefcake?
No, that would be Mr. Perfect had a really long winning streak that he lost, and he lost to Beefcake.
Oh, who did Tatanka lose it to?
And Tatanka's undefeated streak is going to go on for quite some time because I remember he faces Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 9. And like, what's the only good match on that card is the opening match. And he's still undefeated at that time. So it's going to be going for a while longer. The Berserker gets the win, I believe, by countout. He's got lots of tape on his hands.
They must have really had high hopes for Tatanka because you really didn't have a lot of undefeated streaks back then. Unless you were like Hogan.
Yeah, especially not to that extent.
Yeah. I mean, Hogan and Warrior and Perfect at the time, but those were all guys that were going, outside of Perfect. He never really got the heavyweight championship, but
yeah,
missed
We've
opportunity.
Got more SummerSlam talk. Everybody out there, you got to take a drink every time they talk about SummerSlam, which is every 5 minutes. So
available on pay-per-view. Go to channel 32 and watch the Descrambler.
Brother, crush your brother. And they better watch out over there, brother, in the London town, brother. Because I'll crush those little cars, brother, just like I crushed the cars over here, brother. And let me tell you this, Repro Man, brother. You think you can repro my stuff, brother? Well, let me tell you this, brother. No Repro Man, brother, this, brother, around this, brother land. If you, brother, know what I mean. Brother.
Brother. Crush. Every word he has 2 words. He's like Groot. He says brother and crush.
Brother crush, brother crush, brother crush, brother crush, crush. Brother, brother crush, brother, brother, brother crush, 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 brother, brother, crush. That's it.
It's kind of I like this song.
That's kind of a bop, isn't it?
Yeah. Put a beat behind that.
Oh God, I'm sweating, pal. A handsome earthquake, and his brother, not so handsome typhoon are here.
Woo.
You know, what would be the most handsome tag team of all time? Handsome Earthquake teaming up with Handsome Avalanche, and then you got Handsome Shark in there with Handsome John Tenta, even Golga. My brain would explode.
I mean, you know how they have the Faces of Foley shirt? I want a Faces of John Tenta shirt.
Oh my God!
It could be the #1 seller on WWE Shop.
Yes, Pro Wrestling Tees. If somebody open up a Handsome Earthquake shop and do that, it sounds amazing.
The Faces of Tenta.
I want Tenta. Remember when I don't know if you remember this from WCW, but he got half his head shaved, and so like for the longest time he would just walk around with only half of his hair there and the other half shaved off. I want that face on there with half the hair, without half the hair. It's John Tenta.
I don't remember that.
Yep. So the Boss Man did it to him. The Boss Man shaved half of his head. And then I remember him coming out and cutting a promo and saying, I'm not an Avalanche. I'm not a Shark. I'm a man. I'm John Tenta.
So that's after Dungeon of Doom?
Half his hair. Huh?
That's after the Dungeon of Doom stuff?
Yeah, that was after Dungeon of Doom. Yep.
Okay, but wait, he did go back to WWF. And then, was he there in WCW at NWO time at all?
Yeah, he was, because that was 1996. So yeah, he was around for the NWO. Yeah.
Okay. Gosh, they really should have had him be the third man.
He really should have been. He could have been Hollywood Avalanche. Could you imagine?
Gosh, all the movie directors would be calling in trying to get him to star in all those movies. Hollywood Handsome.
About it. And that's it. That is it for this episode of Superstars.
1992.
1992.
What day was it?
August the 8th.
August 8th of 92. I'm going to look something up real quick. What do you think was the #1 song on the Billboard August 8th, 1992? I'm putting it down. I won't look. I won't cheat.
Girl, you know it's true. I know.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to go with
It was Informer by Snow.
it should be every day.
Wouldn't that be great if that was the answer?
I'm going with I'll Make Love to You by Boyz II Men.
That was very popular back then. On Bended Knee, perhaps.
August 8th, 1992. Billboard. Sorry, this is taking a second.
He's getting in touch with the research department.
What did we say? August 8th?
August 8th. 1992.
Oh, wow. It only had a hit for... I was really close. August 15th, End of the Road was the #1 hit until November 7th. But This Used to Be My Playground by Madonna was the #1 song in the country for 1 week. And before that, for a month straight, it was Baby Got Back.
LA Face with the Oakland Booty.
Man, I'll Be There by Mariah Carey, and then Jump. Save the Best for Last. I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, I do remember that one. You go and save the best for last. Tune in next week. We're going to do karaoke. I'm just kidding.
And then one of my favorite songs of all time in February to March, Next to Be With You by Mr. Big.
That is a good song.
That's a good song.
You saw the wheels spinning inside of my mind, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I do know that song."
There was a lot of that group had some fantastic mullets. They would have fit perfectly here in this episode.
I'm gonna have to look it up. Because I don't remember. I remember the song, but I don't remember what the guys looked like. I was very young in 1992.
Hold on, little girl. Yeah.
Well, pal, that's it. That's gonna do it. Make sure you check out Sports Wire Radio. The link is in our bio. Click that. Listen to all kinds of good shit on that network. Make sure you follow Thomas. He's going to be on the show next week at Thomas Bryce 2017. Shout out to the guys from the Sit Down Marks. I had AJ and Primo on. They're going to be on our Manic Matches at WrestleMania show. They were a lot of fun to talk to. Shout out to those guys. Thanks for coming on the show. Trying to think if I got anything else. Tune in next Saturday. Tune in next Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Tune in the Saturday after that at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to do our WrestleMania preview show. May or may have forgotten about that.
Is it that close?
It'll be 2 weeks from tomorrow. Yeah, we are almost 14 days from WrestleMania.
The countdown to WrestleMania is only 2 weeks away.
Yeah,
almost.
It's hard to believe.
Whew.
Doesn't feel like it, does it?
I know, it really doesn't. It doesn't feel like it's almost going to be April here soon. Wow.
Not at all. So yeah, check that out. Shout out Glenn and Jeremy from Piece of Business. Make sure you every Sunday check them out. They just did an interview with wrestling legend Bobby Blaze, which was really, really good. So go check that out. I could listen to that Bobby Blaze guy talk all day. It's probably the Southern accent. I don't know why, but it does something for me.
I lost mine. I am sorry. I apologize. I lost my Southern accent.
Well, God damn it.
Yeah. Sorry. Moved away from Memphis, Tennessee when I was 5. Hasn't come back.
All right. That's it. I got nothing else to plug. You got anything?
I'll plug Scott Hall. I don't have anything to say other than, another one for the good guys. Take a little survey. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite things that he ever did.
Yeah, I just still remember because I was big into watching WWF, and my neighbor, my best friend at the time, he lived 2 houses down. Huh? No, he lived across the street. He lived across the street. This was 2 houses down to my side, and he always watched WCW. And I remember him running over after WCW was over and knocking on my door late at night. And my dad's like, "Someone's here to see you." He was like, "Chris is outside." And I was like, "Huh?" He's like, Razor was on WCW." And he's just coming over and telling me about how Razor was on WCW TV. And I was like, "No, he wasn't." And of course I couldn't record it. So, we weren't recording things back then. So I couldn't even believe it until it got me to watch WCW the following week.
Yeah. That was the day after this. It was May 27th, so I remember it was the day after my birthday. I remember exactly where I was, sitting on my couch in the living room, and you could see him coming down, before he got into the ring, and I was like, "What?" I remember like it was yesterday, and that was so long ago. But it just shows.
And you were watching WCW at the time.
Yeah, I want to say maybe WWF. So WWF at that time was only an hour long, right? And I think WCW started at 7, where WWF didn't start till 8. And so
there was an hour difference. There was an hour difference.
I probably started watching the first hour of WCW, and that's probably where I seen him. But because I did flip back and forth, but I was mostly WWF, except for when the NWO started getting super hot. I used to watch.
Yeah,
my Nitro every Monday. I would watch it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I just remember, and everyone at school was talking about it the next day. It was weird because people I didn't even know watched wrestling. We were just talking about Razor Ramon being on WCW and being like, "You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here," whatever he said.
Yeah, it was at that by that time, you're of the age where it's predetermined. You know what I mean? You know that it is. But even that, at that time, I'm like, I didn't know. I'm like, is this fucking for real? I was 12, but I was like, is this fucking for real?
Yeah.
Is this really happening?
Yeah.
I really thought that. I really did.
It made me at probably 15 years old think, oh God, he came over, he's invading. It made 15-year-old adult me basically think that Scott Hall was leaving, WWF, not leaving, but still part of WWF and coming over.
They sent him down here because the Bishop guy's been talking shit for weeks, so we don't have to straighten him out. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Why is he not showed up dressed like Razor Ramon, though? I don't get this.
Why has he got jeans on?
Why has he got an all denim outfit on? All right.
All right.
I just wanted to say something because I don't know. Even though when I met Scott, he was old and curmudgeony and kind of seemed cranky, but then I think about it and I'm like, maybe he's just like a ball buster kind of guy, and just kind of his personality.
He seems like a ball buster kind of. I mean, I don't know if you follow El Ref on Twitter, he's got like 3 stories of when he met him.
Yeah, I
His
did read
stories are
one of
really
them.
good.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, but he does seem like a kind of a ball buster kind of guy, or like he has like a different sense of humor than most people have. Like you might think he's being a dick, but he's just kind of joking around.
Yeah.
And also, he's probably been talking to smelly guys all day, and he was probably sick of it by the time you got up there.
Probably, yeah. I'm late to everything, so I probably was like near the end of. I actually think I was very close to the end of the line. So yeah, he is probably just ready to get the show on the road and get back to the back and
He's
have
probably
a couple wobbly pops.
ready to- yeah. Well, all right, pals. Don't forget, like I said, it won't be live next Friday. We'll be live next Saturday. So check us out, and we will talk to you next time.
Be there or be square.
Yeah.